Well, after the day's racing with Walker Fowler and Cole Richardson, normally we're expecting and anticipating seeing them doing well each and every race. But, the amazing thing about it, today they didn't do so well. They had their struggles and they had their problems. And what I thought was really neat about the whole aspect of that was not the fact that they were having struggles, but whenever they started having struggles and everyone in their team realized that, hey, it looks like they're out of the ball game on this one, it was the camaraderie that was shown was just utterly amazing. And to see riders at that level and teams at that level to be able to step back to their grassroots level is just amazing. Words really can't describe what really happened here today. This is probably one of the best GNCC motorcycle race days we've had in 2015. I mean, from the start, when the green flag flew, it was almost like you could feel it in the air.
100 GNCC Racing! 10 seconds! And row number 1, the XC1 Pro will be off and rolling at this Limestone 100 GNCC.
Caleb Russell went down in the second turn, but of course he was battling and he was side by side with Jordan Ashburn, who actually grabbed the pole shot in that one. And when Caleb went down, Jordy never looked back, man. He kept his head down and charged right into the woods.
The first 3 or 4 laps, it's just everybody was just right together. I mean, me and Grant were right together, riding hard.
That kind of set the stage, I think, for quite possibly one of the most unexpected turns of the season as far as the challenges that were set forth and met today. There's a great dynamic there on the NFAB AmPro Yamaha team on the ladies' side of things. I mean, they got 2 of the probably world premier off-road racers. When Becca first started this, she kind of had her struggles like Jessica does and had, trying to claw her way up to the top and win some races. And the great thing about it is, watching Becca, we've seen a consistent progression in her riding over the course of her tenure in GNCC. And it seems like every round she not only gets stronger and faster, but she becomes more consistent, and she's just inching her way toward actually winning and being a dominant rider in this series. Grant Baylor got off to, I think has to be probably his best start in XC1 racing. And today he got out front in contention with the leaders and was actually a leader and led several times, made some amazing passes on Caleb Russell as they went back and forth over the course of the last couple of laps. And the great thing about Grant, he had that good speed and momentum in the early part of the race, and he had what he always has in reserve for the latter part of the race, and he put the hammer down, and those guys turned the fastest laps of the day on the final lap in probably some of the most brutal conditions. And oftentimes we get to see it on the first lap, but after the first lap and everybody burns in that first lap and they get their initial ideas of what lines they're going to start using and everything, it starts to spread out. But today, it started out like that, and it actually just kept being like that and kept being like that. And I mean, lap after lap, that's what was so great about this race today. I mean, it gets back to what a lot of us really enjoy about racing.
Matt, Malcolm and everybody there, Nick, the brand is as a standalone brand, but the people even make it better. But they've always had such a rich off-road heritage from Malcolm and what they've done. And I'm telling you, there's just no other gear that I'd rather be wearing or for my team than this MSR.